We were going to move out. They told us we were going to try to cut the peninsula in two and going to move out in 45 minutes. And time I got my aid kits fixed, I had them both strapped on my hips there, and I said, I looked and the guys were over on the other road and I thought, well, I'll take a shortcut across this field. Well, I was looking down, watching for any mine wires. That's what they had, little wires, and you trip them. Personnel mine. I said I had two good buddies got killed that way. And so I was looking down, all of a sudden I look up and I stopped. I was looking right at two Germans and a machine gun. And I thought, gee. And I kept looking, I didn't move. I thought, well, that's one's dead and the other one's wounded. And ain't either one of them behind the machine gun, they were beside it. So then I moved on up, kind of kept my arm so I'd see the Red Cross. Well, and one was killed the day before at noon and the other one was wounded. So I gave him some water and he was scared. He said, they told us you paratroopers didn't take prisoners, you shot us. I told him, yeah, they tell you a lot of things. And then I was working on his wounds, and then he got feeling better because he see I was helping him, and so he even showed me a picture of his girlfriend living in Berlin. So I was getting him patched up, both thighs inside were wounded bad, blown up. And I said, and I looked at him and I looked up and I see he was scared again. I looked, and here come Sergeant Clyde Hines. And Sergeant Hines, he looked rough, and he could be rough, but he was a nice guy. I found out later he was a school teacher in Kansas. So I told him what happened and everything, and so he said, well, I looked out here and I told the guys, I said, Pinky's out there on his knees. He'd been that way for about 10 minutes. I'm going over, he's in trouble. Then he said, I got where I could see that green uniform, and I thought, So he said, I had that old M1 up because I figured I was going to do some fast shooting. And then I waved him in. He said, what are you going to do with him? And I said, well, I can't carry him alone. Well, first of all, I told him about him, and so he asked the German kid there, well, a soldier he was, he asked him, hey, you want a candy bar? He couldn't believe that. And he gave him a candy bar. And then he said, well, we can carry him if we make a seat out of our arms. Yeah. So we did. We carried him across the field. There he had an arm around each one of our necks. We got out on the road. I said, we're hanging right here. Aid station down there about a half a mile. But I've said they're going to move too because we are, And we just walked a little ways, and here come a Jeep out there, wheeled up there and got the German, see. And after I got back to England, Captain Stenhouse, who was the 1st Battalion surgeon, he was my officer. He said, Pinky, he said, they call me Pinky because my last name is Pinkston. I always got stuck with that, even in school and everywhere, And so he said, Pinky, I looked out there in Normandy, and he said, I said, hey, you better get that Jeep around. Here comes a couple paratroopers with a wounded guy. And then he said, I got the field glasses, and I said, hey, that's Pinky, and that's a line sergeant, and hey, that's a German they're carrying. He said, I wished I'd had a camera. I'd got a picture of you two guys carrying that wounded German. He said, that would have showed the world. That's the difference between us and the Nazis. And I thought, yeah, it probably would have.
We just fought all over the place. One thing that was, we ran into a group of Germans, about 150 of them from different units, all mixed up. So we were about 26 of us, and we were down on the ground. One guy next to me got shot in the head right beside me. And then Lieutenant Sanaserio came in on the left flank and started shooting at him, and they gave up. Our Lieutenant Sanaserio said that we should treat them as prisoners of war and not mistreat them. We're treating the wounded, and then a big tall German came out of the bushes with an MG-42 over his shoulder. And I've always thought about that. If we'd have mistreated any of those, he'd probably machine gun all of us, and there we'd have been.